Welcome back. Criminal Justice Administration has a significant role to play in bringing criminals to justice, and this largely depends on the type of investigation carried out by the police. Keeping this in mind and trying to improve the investigative skills of newly recruited police sub-inspectors, North Goa District Legal Services Authority held a workshop. To mark the commencement of the workshop, members of the judiciary lit the traditional lamp. Member Secretary of North Goa District Legal Services Authority and District Judge Pramod V. Kamath in his introductory address said that the flaws in investigation is the main reason for large number of acquittals.
If there are flaws in the investigation, there is likely that there are acquittals. You must remember there are lot of acquittals and it is very great concern.
Chairman of the North Goa District Legal Services Authority and Principal District Judge U.V. Bakre said that the police should learn the skills of investigation in accordance with the provision of laws.
A police officer should know as to how various kinds of panchanamas are to be conducted, as to how the articles are to be seized, sealed and kept in safe custody to avoid allegations of tampering with in future. A police officer must know the relevant provisions of law and further he must know as to in which cases the identification parade is required and how it should be conducted, and as to how the dying declarations and confessional statements are to be recorded, though such work will be ultimately done by the magistrates.
He went on to caution that criminals have also become intelligent, but the police should be a step ahead of them, and materials having evidentiary value should be collected and brought on record.
In today's modern computerized fast world, the criminals have become intelligent in using new modus operandi for various kinds of crimes. This is a challenge to the police department, which has to become more intelligent, alert, prompt and trained with the latest technology so that every material piece of evidence having great evidentiary value is detected and does not go unnoticed.
Principal District Judge Bakre urged new recruits to overcome the constraints of resources, infrastructure and political interference during carrying out of investigations.
No doubt there is a lack of resources and there are procedural and practical difficulties. There is lack of training institutions and infrastructure and maybe lack of willing trainers too. There is also a political influence, or should I say interference. However, with all that is at hand, the police department has to come out with good results.
Advocate P.R. Prabhu, speaking on the subject of dying declaration, advised the new batch of PSIs that while recording the dying declaration, they should strive to have a witness present and as far as possible, it should be recorded in the exact words and language.
Usually, most of the judgments say that dying declaration should be accompanied by some corroboration. If corroboration is not there, basing only on dying declaration, a person cannot be convicted. The police officers should always try to procure the presence of a magistrate. And as far as possible, the statement should be recorded in the exact words of the person who is making it. And thirdly, it should be recorded in the language. Suppose he speaks Marathi and you write in English. While translating, because the court is going to rely on it, while translating you may make a mistake. Then who is the sufferer? Ultimately is the accused. And court may not believe it.
Advocate Saresh Lotlikar, speaking on modern methods of scientific investigation, said that the role of the police is difficult But securing a conviction is not the sole job of an officer.
Securing a conviction is not the sole job of an investigating officer. An investigating officer will investigate, place the paper with the prosecutor, and it is the prosecutor's duty to put it across to the judge. Acquittal or conviction is a joint process in which the investigating officer, the judge, the prosecutor are all involved.
While advising the officers to take elementary precaution while investigating and not resort to shortcuts, he explained the methods of scientific investigation.
Acquittals are necessarily attributable to a faulty investigation. But many a times, yes, faulty investigation does result in quite a number of acquittals. When one talks about scientific way of investigation, one has to remember that knowing the basic skills of investigation, carrying out investigation by proper application of mind, by proper application to the law involved, by making reasonable use of your intelligence, is in fact scientific way of investigating the matter. Scientific investigation does not mean that you resort to the assistance of experts, that you go for a DNA test, that you go for narco analysis, and so on and so forth, which are available today. Scientific investigation means first know the basics. If you know the basics, if you get the basics right, then there is a great chance of you succeeding in the prosecution.
However, he questioned the infrastructure available for the police in Goa.
But those facilities are not available in the state of Goa. So therefore, the fact that a case can be scientifically investigated by resorting to several methods is of academic importance as far as we are concerned, unless that particular laboratory or that particular technique is established here and you are able to avail of the benefit of that.
That's all we have for you today. Before we end, here's a reminder of the headlines. Court remands accused in Scarlett's murder to 14 days police custody. 2 more persons filed for anticipatory bail. Tourism Minister says Goa is a safe tourist destination, demands action against PSI and doctor. We'll be back tomorrow with more news and analysis for you. Until then, goodbye and good night.